The concept of the big three has always been a center point of the anime genre. Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece have for the longest time been considered as the main big three, but as Naruto has ended and as Bleach kind of had a dry spell, two spots for the big three have been open for the longest time. But today I don't want to focus on the known big three, but rather the chase for the next big three that the anime industry has been fighting for. I also want to speak on how this chase may actually be hurting the industry rather than helping it. So let's get into it. First and foremost, I want to pinpoint what the industry sees as the criteria for becoming a big three anime. One, of course, it has to be shonen. Have that lovable, stupid, yet determined main character that is very easy to root for. That's not a problem, all in all. I think that the shonen main character idealism is not a bad one, as we've seen so many characters thrive under it. However, I certainly do think that it can be mishandled. Deku from My Hero Academia is a great example of a protagonist that may have been handled incorrectly. Deku is like the anime industry's Gary Stu. When your character has no shortcomings or no flaws that make him feel human, it's much harder to resonate with what his journey is. His goal is to become the greatest hero? That's so boring. And it's not like having an open-ended goal is a new thing for the shonen genre. We know that Naruto's goal was to become the Hokage, which was dumb, but at the very least it had its own highs and lows that it had to go through. When Deku says he wants to become the strongest hero, and then we get narration from the future where he is the strongest hero, it's very hard to get attached to that. And from the lens of the big three, I understand what it is that they're trying to do. When your character has such an open-ended goal, it opens the door to thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of episodes, which is one of the main problems of this big three concept. Animes nowadays set out with the intention to be thousands of episodes long, which is not how creators like Kishimoto, Oda, or Kubo even thought of whenever they were making their anime. Whenever you think of your anime being 1,000,000 episodes long, you write yourself into narrative holes that are hard to get out of. And that's a hole I see a lot of modern day anime falling into. They're so focused about, how can we make this arc 1,000,000 episodes? How can we make every character have their moment? Nobody gives a damn about all that. Focus on character development. Focus on correct power scaling. I cannot stress that enough. I love Demon Slayer so much because Tanjiro is constantly telling himself, I need to get better. I need to find better ways to improve myself because right now it is not cutting it. And even the strongest people at the top are struggling to fight what they're facing. This was a narrative hole that even Dragon Ball Z found themselves falling into. Goku got extremely powerful very early into the anime, so it was harder to write new challenges for the character. And although power scaling has been dealt with better in the modern day of anime, it still doesn't stop animes like Black Clover from falling into a loop where they're solving their problems very quickly, trying to move on to that next arc where they can show more characters doing cool things. If you want to make a long form anime, you have to start from the back and work your way to the front. Think about the characters that you're following and how you want them to end up and then work backwards. But this is a writing style that anime developers nowadays do not want to follow at all, and it shows in a very bad way. People are making animes that blow their loads too soon, and then interest slowly trickles away. But perhaps animes like Attack on Titan and Demon Slayer have found a new way of making anime that, if paid enough attention to, might just open the door to a new big three. In the modern world of anime, shorter shows are making more of an impact, and it's really showing nowadays. I recently got a chance to catch up with Made in Abyss, and what really caught my attention was how they were structuring their releases. Each season of Made in Abyss has about 12 to 13 episodes, which is standard or really just understandard for what a short anime typically is. However, as of the release of the new season, they decided to pack their first season and second season into movies, feature-length films that pack the episodes into one big package that makes it easier to digest. This was definitely a structure that they took inspiration from off of Demon Slayer, as they're doing the same thing. They're taking their time to up the production and up the storytelling instead of finding a way to make millions and millions of episodes. I so strongly believe that this is the future of anime, as it's clearly showing that this is the best way to get the most out of your characters, out of your setting, and even out of animation. Oftentimes in these big three animes, you're gonna see that the animation is lacking because they need to get an episode out every week. They're rushing their workers and pushing them to their limits to make sure that they make a quota. By cutting the episodes down and making shorter seasons, or even just putting a whole season in a movie, it makes it a lot easier for animation teams to make the best of what they can do and display it in a perfect manner of timing. It's not like this concept is new at all. Again, Attack on Titan was the first to do it and the first to do it big. But as some of the biggest titles right now in the anime scene are actually in this format, or at the very least are the short ones, it's showing that taking your time is not exactly a bad thing. Animes like Mob Psycho are proving that if they slow down and focus on the amount of time they put into it, they'll get a lot more out of it than the animes that just pour thousands of episodes in and hope that you are latched on. The newer generation's attention span is so small that it actually works in its advantage this time. I guarantee you if you tried to push the first arc of Bleach in this modern day sphere, it would not have made it. Not because the animation was lackluster or the characters were not as hooky, but just because the pacing is just so unbearably slow. Creators are looking at these big three animes and thinking that making several episodes of B plots and C plots is what's gonna get your viewers attached to your characters faster. And that's just not the case. I can confidently say that I do not care about 90% of the characters in My Hero Academia. I know that they're trying to do what Naruto did with the different class system, but what they're not understanding is that they actually paid attention to the different characters and their motives in the original Naruto anime. You can throw as many characters into crazy situations with cool animation and fighting, and it's not going to get me to where I need to be to continue to watch your anime for hundreds and hundreds of episodes. Cut it down, focus on the animation, and focus on where your story is going to go. Jujutsu no Kaisen is another great example of an anime that's using this structure in an effective way. I don't want to see 50 episodes of flashback One Piece. I don't want to get a whole season where we're following filler Naruto, and I just don't want to watch My Hero anymore. I'm sick of it, and I'm tired of it, all at the same time. I know I may be coming off as harsh with these animes, but I think that if we continue to glorify these long-form structures, then we're gonna keep seeing overbloated anime that don't know where they want to take their characters until they see public reception and then switch up whenever people say they don't want to see this character or they do want to see this character. When I watch stuff like that, it pulls me out of the show. This has to stop. Not to mention, it would give a much needed break to the animators who are working their asses off just to get underpaid to squeeze out another episode in another week. So will we see a new era of anime? Hopefully, because right now it's taking a depressing left turn. Conclusion time. I don't have much else to say about this. I really feel like the future of anime is in a dangerous spot right now. I think everyone can agree that anime today is just on a rocky road, and I feel like in order to fix it, we need to accurately display what we want to see. And again, to stress that animator point again, it is also harming the industry from the inside out.
たくさんの仕事量っていうのがアニメーターさんの中のなんかスタンダードというか普通なんですか？
そうですね。もう会社に行って家に帰らないっていう人もいっぱいいるんで、会社のこう机の下とかでこう寝っ転がってもう寝泊まりしてる人とか、1週間ぐらいずっといるとか1ヶ月いるとか。
でも着替えとお風呂とかも大変ですよね。
ちょっと
But I really want to hear what you guys think. Is the anime industry in peril? Am I just being too critical? Let me know in the comments. Like the video if you like the video. Subscribe if you want to subscribe. All that good stuff. I'm gonna get out of here and probably watch some Demon Slayer. And that's the video. I'm gonna do the fade out now. I'm leaving now. This is me leaving. This is me departing. And never watching My Hero